Ladies and gentlemen, all right. Here is a motivational speech in the powerful, commanding, and emotionally grounded style of Denzel Washington, titled Do Die, without explicitly naming him or using a closing sentence. The speech blends intensity, spirituality, wisdom, and smart delivery. It leans into dramatic rhythm, repetition, and emotional cadence, just as Denzel might deliver it from the heart, raw and real. You see, some people wake up every morning like they got time, like time owes them, like the clock is supposed to wait on their fear, on their hesitation, on their maybe tomorrow mindset. But I got news for you. Tomorrow don't owe you a damn thing. You sitting there waiting on a moment, but the moment's waiting on you. The world don't pause cause you nervous. Life don't wait cause you ain't ready. Now hear me when I say this, there's two kinds of death. Two kinds. There's the one when your heart stops beating. And then there's the one that happens every time you refuse to live. Every time you quit. Every time you second. Guess yourself. Every time you let fear talk louder than faith. A little piece of you dies. Quiet. Silent. Unnoticed. That's the death I'm talking about. The one you don't even see coming. The one you get used to, and that is dangerous, so I say do. Die. Let that old you die. Let that scared you die. Let that lazy, comfortable, halfway living version of you die. Because if it ain't growing, if it ain't pushing, if it ain't breaking limits, then it ain't living. Don't just exist explode. Don't just breathe burn. Don't just dream do. See, you got fire in you. I'm not talking about some poetic metaphor. I mean real fire, soul fire, purpose fire. That kind of fire that don't come from books or lectures, it comes from breaking. It comes from falling so low you forget your name. It comes from betrayal. It comes from heartbreak. It comes from looking in the mirror and asking, who am I really? See, everybody wants to rise, but nobody wants to burn. Nobody wants the ashes. Nobody wants to sacrifice comfort. But comfort is a killer. Comfort is slow poison. It's that whisper that tells you you're okay where you are, when you know damn well you're not. You were made for more. You were designed to dominate. But you out here negotiating with your destiny like it's optional. Let me tell you something, your calling didn't come with a plan B. Your greatness ain't got a backup file. You either answer that call, or it moves on without you. You were not put here just to pay bills and leave. You were not born just to survive. You were born to shift the ground beneath your feet. You were born to leave echoes behind. Footsteps that make people say, damn, they were here. But that doesn't happen by accident. You don't stumble into power, you choose it. Every damn day you want strength. Do what scares you. You want wisdom. Sit with your mistakes. You want freedom. Tell the truth, especially to yourself. You want power. Walk through hell and come out singing. You think courage is loud. No. Sometimes courage is quiet. It's silent battles fought in lonely rooms. It's 4 a.m., tears, and 7 a.m., grind. It's pushing when nobody claps. It's bleeding and smiling anyway. People look at the results. They see the shine, the applause, but they don't know what it cost. They don't know what you had to die to become who you are. Do, die, kill the excuses, kill the lies, kill the ego, kill the pride. Kill the stories that told you you're not enough. Because you are. You're more than enough. You're a miracle wrapped in flesh. But even miracles gotta move. Even miracles need motion. Even miracles get tired if they sit too long. You want miracles? Start moving. You want destiny? Start digging. You want purpose? Start planting. Because purpose don't chase the passive. It don't tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, is it okay if I show up now? Nah. Purpose slams through doors. Purpose kicks down walls. But only for the bold. Only for the brave, only for the broken who decided to rise anyway. You better decide who you are, because if you don't, the world will do it for you, and they'll shrink you, they'll box you, they'll tell you, be quiet. They'll say you too much, but you ain't too much. You just too real for people pretending. There's a warrior in you. I don't care how tired you are. I don't care how many times you failed. I don't care what they said about you. I don't care if nobody clapped. You're still here. You're still breathing. That means there's still a fight left. So fight. Fight for your dream like it's oxygen. Fight for your name like it's sacred. Fight for your peace like it's priceless. Fight for your future like your life depends on it, because it does. Don't you dare water yourself down to make someone else comfortable. Don't you dare dim your light cause they squintin'. You are not here to fit in, you are here to set fire to ordinary. So do and die, die to doubt, die to delay, die to distraction, die to the version of you that chooses average, because every time you say not today, every time you say I'll wait, you're gambling with your gift. And the house always wins. Don't you know, some people leave the world full of potential, full of words they never spoke, songs they never sang, books they never wrote, dreams they never chased. Don't be one of them. Don't you dare be one of them. Don't you die full, die empty, die used up, die poured out, die with nothing left, because that is how you win. That is how you honor the breath in your lungs. That is how you say thank you to the God that woke you up this morning. You ain't got time to be playing small. This ain't rehearsal, this is your life. And your life is not a game, it's a mission. It's a calling, it's a declaration, it's a warning shot to the world that says, I was here. Let the world know you didn't come to tiptoe, you came to stomp, you came to shake the earth, you came to blaze a trail so bright that people have to wear shades just to walk behind you. So don't wait, don't ask, don't apologize, move, build, push, stretch, fall, rise, grow, bleed, laugh, love, roar. And if you're gonna die, then let something inside you die today. Let that fear die. Let that silence die. Let that maybe next year lie die. You ain't got next year. You got now. You got this breath. You got this chance. You got this moment. So what you gonna do with it? Are you gonna wait? Or are you gonna work? You gonna sleep on it? Or you gonna sweat for it? You gonna wish for it? Or you gonna war for it? See, I can't do it for you. Nobody can. But I can tell you this, the greatest version of you is already inside. But you gotta kill the version that's standing in the way. You gotta die to live. Do die now or never. You've been carrying an old version of yourself for far too long. That version that learned how to survive, how to hide, how to stay safe, yeah, that one. The version built out of broken experiences, wrapped in fear, shaped by other people's expectations. You wore it like armor, and maybe for a time it served a purpose. It kept you safe. It kept you small. But it also kept you stuck. See, there comes a moment when the old you becomes a cage. And if you want to move forward, if you want to grow, if you want to become who you were truly made to be, then that version of you has to go. That version of you that second guesses every idea, that apologizes for being different, that hides their gifts so other people feel more comfortable, that plays small so nobody calls you out. That version is expired. You don't need it anymore. You're not who you were back then. You're wiser now, stronger now. You've been through the fire and made it out. But you're still walking like you're on fire, still thinking like you're in the dark. You've evolved, but your mindset hasn't caught up, and that's why you feel stuck. That's why you feel torn, because the new you is trying to be born, but the old you won't let go. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting where you came from. It means honoring where you're going. You can't step into a new chapter while reading from an old script. You can't walk through new doors dragging old baggage. It's not just about goals and dreams, it's about identity. Who are you now? Who are you becoming? Who do you need to stop being? Some of us are more loyal to our pain than we are to our purpose. We keep feeding the story that says, I'm not enough. We rehearse the narrative that says, people like me don't win. But those stories, those lies, they're not your truth. They're just echoes of a past that's scared to lose you, but you've got to outgrow your own history. You've got to believe your own doubt, because nothing changes until you change. You can chase new things all day long, but if you're dragging the same old self into every season, you'll keep recreating the same outcome. It's not the world that's in your way. It's not luck. It's not timing. It's that internal hesitation, that resistance to becoming someone new, because change is uncomfortable. Growth is painful. The ego hates it. The flesh resists it. But your spirit, your soul, it craves it. It's hungry for it. That's why you can't rest. That's why you feel like something's missing even when everything looks fine. Because your soul knows the real you is still waiting. And that real you, that powerful, focused, bold, loving, limitless version of you, it's not a fantasy, it's not a dream, it's already there, buried under the debris of doubt, disappointment, and delay. You've just been afraid to dig. You've just been afraid to lose control, afraid of what it might cost to evolve. But let me ask you, what's the cost of asterisk not asterisk evolving? What happens if you stay this way? What happens if you never answer that call inside? What happens if you settle? See, there's a voice in you that's been speaking all along, but you've quieted it. You've buried it under opinions, distractions, bad habits, and busyness. But it's still there. Still whispering, still waiting, and it ain't going anywhere because truth don't die. It just waits for you to catch up. You gotta kill that old identity, that voice that says, I can't. That attitude that says, this is just who I am. That fear that says, if I try, I'll fail. You gotta bury that. You gotta look in the mirror and say, I love you, but we're not staying here. You gotta break up with your old self like it's a toxic relationship, because it is. It's kept you from peace. It's robbed you of time. It's made you question your own brilliance. You've tried pleasing people who don't even see you. You've tried being humble by shrinking yourself. But humility isn't thinking less of yourself, it's thinking of yourself less asterisk, while still knowing who you are asterisk. It's walking with power in silence, and it starts when you shed the layers that never belonged to you. You weren't born to live trapped inside who you used to be. You weren't born to repeat patterns that were handed down in pain. Just because you were taught to be silent doesn't mean you weren't born to speak. Just because you were told to be small doesn't mean you weren't built to shine. And just because you were broken doesn't mean you can't be whole. But here's the truth no one wants to hear dying to the old you ain't pretty. It ain't clean, it's messy, it's lonely, it's painful, you're gonna grieve, you're gonna doubt, you're gonna want to run back to what's familiar. But don't go back, because everything behind you is too small for the destiny ahead of you. When a snake grows, it sheds its skin. When a butterfly emerges, it destroys the cocoon. When a seed becomes a tree, the shell cracks wide open. That destruction, that death, is necessary for transformation, and so is yours. The difference between who you are and who you want to be is what you're willing to leave behind. No more waiting for the perfect moment. No more pretending you're okay living halfway. No more putting everyone else first and yourself last. No more playing weak so strong people won't feel threatened. This is your time. This is your turn. This is your chapter. You can't step into it with a foot still planted in who you used to be. You've got to decide. You've got to commit. You've got to go all in. The old you will scream. The old habits will fight back. The old emotions will try to seduce you into staying the same, but that's just proof you're changing. That's how you know you're on the edge of something real. That's how you know you're close. You gotta keep pushing. You gotta keep walking through the fire. You gotta trust that the version of you waiting on the other side is worth the pain, because they are. And once you meet them, once you look in the mirror and see what you were always meant to be, you'll never go back. You'll never question again. You'll never apologize for your shine, your strength, your truth, because that's when you'll know you did what most people are too afraid to do. You died to who you were, so you could live as who you were meant to be. Purpose don't wait for perfect timing. It don't wait for you to feel ready. Purpose don't care about your schedule, your excuses, your 5-year plan. It shows up and knocks. Sometimes loud, sometimes soft, but always at the door of your spirit. And when it knocks, you got 2 choices: answer it or ignore it. And too many people ignore it because they think they have time. They think purpose will stick around while they get their life together, but it won't. Purpose moves. Purpose is motion. And if you don't move with it, it'll pass you by and find someone who will. See, people talk about purpose like it's a luxury. Like it's something you chase once the bills are paid, once the kids are grown, once you finally get a vacation. But purpose is not for later, it's for now. It's in your bones, in your breath, in your choices. Every second you delay it, you weaken it. Not because purpose gets smaller, but because your spirit starts believing the lie that says, not yet. That's the most dangerous lie of all, not yet. That lie is responsible for more unfulfilled lives than failure ever was. You don't find purpose, you respond to it. You don't stumble into it like you tripped on a rock. You have to move toward it, act like it matters, treat it like oxygen. Because when you don't treat it that way, you slip into survival mode. You wake up, go through the motions, and call it a life. You check the boxes, follow the rules, please the people, and ignore the fire burning in your gut saying, there's more. That more is purpose calling you. That more is the reason you can't sleep. It's the reason success don't satisfy. It's the reason even when everything looks right, it still feels wrong, and some of you have been feeling that call for years. Maybe since you were a kid. Maybe since that one conversation you never forgot. That one heartbreak that broke you open. That moment in silence when you heard something deeper than your thoughts. That was purpose. But you brushed it off. You told yourself, I'm not ready. You waited for a sign. You waited for people to believe in you. You waited for the fear to go away. But purpose don't wait for your fear to disappear. It demands you move asterisk with it asterisk. It demands you walk through the shaking, through the doubt, through the unknown. Purpose lives on the other side of action, not talk, not planning, not wishing, action and real action. It's messy, it's not cute. It's not always Instagrammable. Sometimes it looks like failing in public. Sometimes it looks like showing up tired, scared, and unsure, but still showing up. It looks like saying no to things that used to feel good. Like leaving comfort, like building something from nothing. And here's the part most people won't tell you purpose costs. It costs time, it costs energy, it costs people. It costs versions of you that used to make sense but don't fit anymore. But the cost of ignoring it, that's even higher. The cost of ignoring purpose is the slow death of your spirit. It's waking up one day and realizing you've lived a life someone else designed. It's realizing your gifts died inside of you. That you let fear talk you out of destiny. That you let distraction rob you of legacy. That's a weight nobody wants to carry. But some people do for a lifetime, and they don't realize it until it's too late. So you have to move now, not when it's easy, not when it's clear, not when it's convenient, now. Because there's somebody out there waiting on what's in you. There's somebody broken who needs your story. There's somebody stuck who needs your breakthrough, and they can't receive it if you don't release it. You're sitting on gold while the world is starving for light, and you keep saying one day, but the truth is there's no such thing. There's only asterisk this asterisk day, this moment, this breath, this opportunity to say, I won't wait anymore. You keep thinking you need a blueprint, but purpose asterisk is asterisk the blueprint. You don't need to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. You don't need to have the outcome guaranteed, just move in the direction that sets your soul on fire. Every movement you make in purpose, even if it's small, multiplies. It creates momentum, it opens doors. It shifts something in the atmosphere. The universe responds to people who move. God responds to people who act. Purpose favors the bold, not the perfect. You want alignment, take action. You want clarity. Take action. You want confirmation, take action. Because nothing reveals who you are like motion. Sitting still only reveals your fears. But walking, building, speaking, writing, showing up, that's where the magic happens. That's where faith grows. That's where you see what you're made of. Don't let preparation become your prison. Don't get stuck waiting to be fully ready. Some of the most powerful people you know started scared. Started unsure, started broke, but they started, and that's the difference. They didn't let fear stop them. They used it as fuel. They turned doubt into drive. They moved anyway, and that anyway is the difference between potential and purpose. Between the dreamer and the doer, between regret and legacy, there's a clock ticking, not out of pressure, out of opportunity. Every second is a seed, and you choose what kind of tree it becomes. You choose if that time produces fruit or regret. You're either investing in your purpose or avoiding it. And every day you avoid it, it gets harder to hear, harder to trust, harder to believe that it was ever real to begin with. That's how dreams die not with a bang, but with silence. With too many tomorrows, with too many what-ifs. Don't let that be your story. Whatever it is inside you, that gift, that voice, that dream, act on it, build it, speak it, share it, shape it. Don't worry about perfection. Don't worry about applause. Don't wait for someone to pick you. Pick yourself, validate yourself, give yourself permission to move, because waiting is just fear dressed in logic, and fear is a liar, always has been. You don't need more time, you need more truth. You don't need more followers, you need more faith. You don't need a guarantee, you need grit. You don't need a map, you need movement. Because the only way to find purpose is to live like it's already yours. The only way to live on purpose is to move with urgency. Every step, every breath, every moment, treat it like it matters, because it does. Because asterisk you asterisk do. Most people are living, but they're not asterisk alive asterisk. They wake up each day with breath in their lungs, but no fire in their heart. They move, but they don't feel. They speak, but they don't say what really matters. They exist in routines and patterns, but deep down they know. This isn't it. This isn't the life they dreamed of. This isn't the full version of themselves. It's just a diluted version of what they could be. And you can see it in their eyes, hear it in their silence, feel it in their energy. They're holding back, saving pieces of themselves for later, for the right moment, for someday. But the truth is, someday is a lie. The only real moment is now. And if you don't give all of you to this life, this moment, this purpose, you'll run out of time before you even realize what you've been wasting. You weren't created to die full. You weren't built to keep your gifts buried and your truth silent. You weren't designed to bottle up your greatness and take it to the grave. No, you were made to live wide open, to pour every ounce of yourself into this world before you go. Every thought, every talent, every word, every lesson. To die empty because you gave it all away. That's the goal, that's the measure. Not how much you collected, but how much you contributed. Not how safe you played it, but how boldly you gave. Not how long you lived, but how deeply you impacted. And that kind of life, it demands intention, it demands honesty. It demands you stop living like you've got forever. You've got something in you that someone else needs. Maybe it's your story, maybe it's your voice. Maybe it's your art, your leadership, your resilience, your spirit. Whatever it is, it's not just for you. It's supposed to move through you. It's supposed to leave your hands and touch someone else. But if you keep hoarding it, protecting it, hiding it, the world loses, you lose, and when the day comes that your time is up, and it will come, you'll look back and ask, did I give it everything I had? Or did I play it safe? Did I love all the way? Or did I hold back because I was afraid to get hurt? Did I create, speak, move, act like I knew the clock was ticking? Or did I act like I had all the time in the world? See, living fully isn't about being busy. It's not about hustling so hard that you burn out. It's about being asterisk, present asterisk in every room you walk into. It's about being asterisk, honest asterisk about who you are and what you want. It's about taking risks that matter, not just ones that pay. It's about saying what you mean, not what's safe. It's about standing in your truth, even when your voice shakes. Living fully means showing up asterisk, whole asterisk. Not perfect, not polished, whole, real, raw, unapologetic. It means putting your heart on the table, knowing it might get bruised, and doing it anyway. Because you're not here to be untouched. You're here to be transformed. You're not gonna get to the end of your life and wish you worked more hours. You're not gonna wish you had more followers, more likes, more approval. You're gonna wish you loved harder, spoke truer, forgave quicker, created more. You're gonna wish you let yourself be more of who you really are, not who you thought people wanted you to be. You're gonna wish you danced in the middle of the street, told them how you really felt. Took the trip, wrote the book, started the thing, left the job, made the move. You're gonna wish you lived like every day asterisk mattered asterisk. Because it does. And the thing is, you already know this. Deep down, you know what lights you up. You know what you're running from. You know what you've been sitting on, that idea you haven't acted on, that call you've been ignoring, that passion you put on pause, that truth you haven't told, you know. And every day you don't act on it, it eats away at you a little more. It doesn't go away, it waits, and eventually it turns into regret. Regret is not about what happened, It's about what asterisk didn't asterisk, what you didn't say, didn't do, didn't give, didn't try, and that's the heaviest burden of all. That's the kind of weight you carry forever. So stop saving yourself for later. There is no later. There is only now, only this moment. This room, this breath, you've got power in you right now, and it's not meant to sit still. It's meant to asterisk move asterisk. It's meant to stretch. It's meant to shake something. Don't wait until life reminds you how short it is. Don't wait for a diagnosis or a disaster to wake you up. Don't wait until the opportunity passes to realize it was yours. Live like you're leaving, because you are, we all are. And we don't get to choose when the story ends. But we do get to choose how much of ourselves we pour into the pages. Leave empty, leave exhausted, leave finished, not in your body but in your mission. Leave knowing there's not one more thing you wish you had said, not one more thing you wish you had given. Leave knowing you gave your heart to the right people, your time to what mattered, your voice to what was true. Leave knowing your light didn't stay trapped inside you. Leave knowing you loved so deeply, it left an echo behind you. Leave knowing your pain wasn't wasted, your story wasn't silent, and your purpose wasn't ignored. That's what it means to live fully and leave empty. Most people think legacy is about big achievements. Big titles, big money, but legacy is made in small moments, in kindness, in courage, in consistency, in doing what's right when nobody's watching, in giving when it's inconvenient, in loving when it's hard. In forgiving when it hurts. That's what echoes. That's what people remember. That's what leaves a mark. You don't have to be famous to be legendary. You just have to be asterisk, full of love, full of truth, full of purpose, and you don't get full by taking. You get full by giving, by pouring out what's inside you without holding back, by waking up every day and asking, what can I give to the world today? What piece of me can I leave behind that someone else can pick up and carry? Don't let fear talk you into shrinking. Don't let comfort convince you to coast. Don't let insecurity rob you of your impact. You are not here to be half-lived. You are not here to be safe. You are here to be bold. To be real, to be open, to be alive. And when you live like that, when you live with your whole chest, with your soul on fire, then when it's time to go, you'll have nothing left to give. You'll leave empty because you gave the world everything it came to you for. You weren't put here to blend in, to walk soft, or to apologize for your existence. You weren't built to shrink just because the world gets uncomfortable when you're loud, when you're powerful, when you walk like you belong. You weren't created to tiptoe through life, worried about what they might say if you really let yourself shine. That voice in your head telling you to play it safe, to be small, to not rock the boat. That voice isn't yours. That voice was planted by fear, shaped by past wounds, carved by people who were scared of their own greatness. But deep down there's another voice, a louder one, a truer one, the one that says you were made for more. The one that says you're not here to fit in, you're here to shake the ground. You were made to leave a mark, and not just any mark. You were made to shift atmospheres, to walk into rooms and change the temperature. To speak words that break chains, build bridges, and ignite fire in people who have forgotten who they are. You were made to carry power, not because you're better, but because you're aware, because you've been through things that didn't break you, because you've survived storms that should have drowned you, because you kept showing up even when you had every reason not to. And that makes you dangerous, that makes you unstoppable, that makes you asterisk chosen asterisk. But the world doesn't celebrate that kind of power. It teaches you to be polite, to dim your light, to tone it down, to not be too confident, too emotional, too passionate, too loud. So you learn to water yourself down. You start to believe the lie that your fire is too much, that your voice is too strong, that your dreams are too big, so you tiptoe, you become careful, you stop taking up space, you let other people's discomfort become your limitation. But you weren't made to walk light. You were made to walk asterisk loud asterisk. Not with noise, but with presence. Not with ego, but with conviction. You were made to asterisk own asterisk every inch of your story and to walk with your head high, not because you're perfect, but because you're asterisk purposed asterisk. There's something inside of you that was never meant to stay quiet. There's a frequency in your soul that doesn't match the background. You feel it every time you try to go along just to get along, every time you silence your truth to keep the peace, every time you lower your standards just to feel accepted. It feels wrong because it is wrong. That's your power trying to break out. That's your destiny screaming through the cracks. That's your true self saying enough. No more hiding, no more pretending. You weren't born to live according to other people's rules. You weren't created to follow a path someone else paved just because it looks safe. You've got your own path. One that ain't been walked before. One that's gonna scare you. One that's gonna stretch you. But that path, that's where your glory is. That's where your fire burns brightest, and yeah, it's gonna cost you. It'll cost comfort. It'll cost approval. It'll cost fitting in, but the trade off, its freedom, its impact, its purpose. It's that deep, unshakable knowing that you were sent here to do something that no one else could do, to be something no one else could be. So stop asking for permission to be great. Stop waiting for someone to validate what you already know. Stop tiptoeing through life like you're scared to leave a footprint. You should leave a footprint. You should leave a dent in this world. People should remember that you were here, not just because you existed, but because you mattered. Because you lived loud and loved hard and told the truth even when your voice shook. Because you stood up when others sat down. Because you reached back when others walked away. Because you lived like your life meant something. Because it does. They told you to be humble, and yes, humility is sacred. But humility is not hiding. Humility is not self-erasure. Humility is knowing your power and choosing to use it for good. It's knowing you could break things, but choosing to build instead. It's walking with quiet thunder, with that steady storm in your spirit that says, I know who I am. That's the kind of energy that changes everything. That's the kind of presence that shifts generations, and that's what you were made for. You think your life is small, it's not. Every word you speak, every choice you make, every time you rise after falling, ripples out. You don't even know who's watching you. You don't even realize who's drawing strength from your journey. Your courage is permission for someone else to keep going. Your fire gives light to someone else who's been walking in the dark. Your boldness becomes someone else's breakthrough. That's why you can't afford to tiptoe. That's why you can't afford to live beneath your calling. The world needs you full. The world needs you whole. The world needs you. But don't get it twisted. Shaking the earth doesn't always mean loud speeches or big stages. Sometimes it looks like raising your kids with intention. Sometimes it looks like showing up to work with integrity. Sometimes it looks like choosing healing over bitterness, forgiveness over revenge. Sometimes it looks like starting over when no one believes in you. Sometimes it looks like loving yourself enough to walk away from what doesn't serve you. It's not always about visibility. It's about impact. And impact is born from authenticity, from alignment, from obedience to the call on your life that won't leave you alone. So if your dream makes you nervous, good. That's how you know it's real. If your path makes people uncomfortable, good. That's how you know it's divine. If your voice shakes when you speak your truth, speak anyway. Shake anyway, move anyway. Because if you keep waiting until it's easy, until it's safe, until it's certain, you'll wait your whole life, and the graveyard, it's full of people who waited, full of ideas that never got written, songs never sung, businesses never built, lives never fully lived. Don't let that be your legacy. Walk like you know the ground was built to carry you. Speak like your words were born to break walls. Love like your heart was made to heal. Live like your time is precious, because it is. You weren't born to be invisible. You weren't created to play small. You weren't sent here to live quietly so others could feel more comfortable. You were made to shake the damn earth. Every step you take, every move you make, every truth you own. It's supposed to resonate. It's supposed to challenge. It's supposed to wake people up. You don't owe the world your silence. You don't owe it your apology. You owe it your truth. You owe it your presence. You owe it your fire. You owe it your full, unapologetic self. So stop tiptoeing, stop hiding, stop delaying, and start walking like you've got a storm in your soul and a legacy on your back. Because you do, because you always have.